You're live.
I see the live thing, that means, but it's still circling. I mean, we're good?
I think so.
I'm not touching anything. Dismiss. You're now live. It looks like it's right. I don't see anything on the screen though.
That's interesting.
You're playing tricks with me.
Yeah, it's showing, you are showing up as being live. What is it doing? Here, let's,
Okay.
do you want to do it again?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Because here's the problem. Hold on. There it goes.
There he is. So we're still live?
Yep.
Good, okay. Well, hello everyone. It is 11:50. Cameron, how you doing, buddy? Checking in from Woodside. Cameron, aren't you supposed to be in class right now? Aren't you supposed to be doing geometry or something? Good to hear from you, buddy. Hope you're doing okay. So good afternoon, everyone. This is our November session. We'll spend some time with you this afternoon from 12 to 1. Or if we'll go a little bit over if we got some good things going on, and then we will do this evening at 6 o'clock. So there's about 6 or 7 topics I wanted to share with you. I hope that I see some comments coming in already. We have some good interaction, and I'll try to hit each one. Sarah's here with me, so if I miss something, we'll go back and hit it. I don't do it intentional, but sometimes it skips, and we have to go back and try to find that post. So if I miss one, it was not intentional. I'll do my very best. So again, Cameron, hello. John, why hasn't the daily arrest page been updated in months? I will tell you, Josh, we are buying a new, well, I shouldn't say buying, we have upgraded our records management system. We spent about $1.8 million to cross over, and it takes a little bit of time for old data to catch up with new data. So I don't want to put stuff out there that's inaccurate. I saw the first report, first time in about 2 months that I saw updated report on Monday, but I've just asked them to go back and verify that because I don't want to put out bad information. But it is because we upgraded in the middle of the year and switching old database to an upgraded database, and some of the numbers are jumbled. I wish I was more tech savvy. I'm not, but some of the coding, I guess is the word they're using. I have to make sure that the new system talks to each other. So it's a pretty expensive upgrade. I know we're going to take a little bit of lack in that. The major crimes we're able to watch when we talk about our shootings and our homicides, but some of the other things, the larcenies and burglars, I just want to make sure that those numbers are accurate. So that's the reason. But I hope to have it cleared up by the end of the month. I think it's cleared up now. I think I saw the actual report on Monday, but I'll feel better giving it a little bit more time just to make sure the two systems are talking to each other and information is transferring over correctly. Thank you. He says I'm coming in live and clear. Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate that. Eric, good afternoon, my friend. Glad you're here. Christopher, appreciate you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Can you scroll down just a little bit? Is it the towel? Oh, how are you? It's good to see you. Nisha, thank you for, am I saying that right, Nisha? Thank you. Look, I swallowed the wrong pipe. Thank you for being on this afternoon. Lenise, thank you. Appreciate you. Fran, hi Chief. Hope your day is going so far so good. I will tell you, I had a nice meeting this morning with some developers. The city is getting to do some reconstruction up around the north part of the city, and we're looking at building a new north precinct. So I got to meet with the developers and kind of looked at, I like to model after what we have in the south precinct. So aesthetically, they look the same. Might make a few adaptations, but it was a really good meeting this morning. I was there with Chief Hires and Chief Grinstead as we looked at. We might do some coexisting in the new precinct, but we'd have the same space for dedicated to the officers. So I'm really looking forward to that. Now, like I said, it's just the plans of drawing it, but it's a start. It's a step in the right direction, and we needed a new north precinct probably for the last 10 years. So I'm really those conversations were good, and it's a great company to work with. So I appreciated them meeting with me this morning. Dr. Lyons, thank you for being on. Thank you. Appreciate you. Happy Tuesday. That's right. That's good. Robin, good afternoon, Chief. Catching up at my lunchtime walk. Robin, I hear you. You're getting your steps in. That's good. That's good. I'll tell you, this is my favorite time of the year. the summer, right? You walk outside, it's 110 degrees. I like this time of year. You know, the leaves turning and the coolness in the temperature. It's like you breathe in fresh, cool air. I really enjoy this time of year. So, yeah, get out and walk while you can. I think that's important. That's good. Richard, good afternoon, Chief. We had a great
It's right there.
we had a great ride Saturday for United Way riding event. It was great catching up with old friends and making new ones. Looking forward. You know, I'll tell you, Richard, I heard a lot of great things. I got so I don't have a motorcycle and I don't ride a motorcycle, right? Always cool. It's very, very nice, but man, I would end up rolling that thing all over myself, right? So Chief Grinstead was all excited. He got to go out and do the ride to, you know, our way, helping raise money for United Way for the police department. And I got someone took a picture of him and sent it to me, and it said, Chief Grinstead's on his way to pick you up. So not really sure where I was supposed to sit, but people like that phone me. That's all right. It was a great event. You know, a lot of I'll tell you, some good amount of money was raised. It was a great event. Captain Dunbar just did a great job putting that together with others. But I'll tell you, we have a young adult police commissioners. That's one of the things I wanted to talk about today. That program is a freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior from every high school in our city. And we meet with them every Wednesday. In fact, I'll meet with them tomorrow. And we do a lot of things together. We talk about what police department should look like, how we should interact with the community, what we should expect from our youth, what they want to see, what they want to see from city government, how do we make things better, how do we improve communication, how do we break down barriers with law enforcement and youth. And I'll tell you, that this group, man, these young students, I've said on here before, I think that the youth in this city are extremely talented. But this group, man, they have gelled already. We had our movie night. We went to see The Eternals. It was a little hard for me to follow, but I had a good time hanging out with them. It was a little hard for me to follow. So then they started talking to me about, they were blowing my mind. But I bring that up because we meet with them, right? We spend about 3 hours every Wednesday. They just had a day with our SWAT team looking at the equipment, why we use what we use, and how we protect ourselves and how we protect the community. We went to a movie night, and you know, about 5 or 6 came out. These are high school kids. On a Saturday, they got out and volunteered to help with this motorcycle ride, this poker run thing, if you will, to raise money for United Way. They came out and volunteered their time. And I'll tell you, we're just bonding with them. They are such a great group. Tomorrow, because we have an academy class getting ready to graduate next week, tomorrow, and a lot of those students in that academy are not much older than some of those high school students, right? We're going to have a group discussion. Students and brand new recruits who are getting ready to graduate. We're going to talk about what they expect from each other. We're going to talk about how they see policing today and what they expect and challenges, and just to interact. That's huge. That's huge. We've done it once before, and I'm really excited. We want to do that as we move forward. So, yeah, it was really a great event. I know I skipped a couple. Scroll back up for me a little bit. Happening next year. What was?
That's the same.
Okay. Dana. Hi, Chief. With Channel 13 News here, I hope you're doing well. Thanks for all the hard work. Thank you so much. Any update on the homicide? What happened right across from police headquarters? What do you make of the rising crime in Hampton Roads, especially one so close? So yes, we did have homicide last night. I was out there with the detectives and the officers. Had a great response. Forensics teams did a great job. The officers setting up the crime scene, getting good information. I don't want to go too far into the case, but we had our briefing this morning at 11 o'clock, and we will solve that case quickly. And we'll leave it at that. When you talk about the rising crime in Hampton Roads, you know, I never want to talk about other agencies or cities or talk globally. You know, I think the big topic right now that a lot of departments are facing, including ours, is really taking a hard look at gun violence, access to firearms, the type of firearms. It seems that it's so quick to grab a firearm when there's any type of conflict. 8, 9, 10 of our homicides, that individuals that were arguing that are domestic issues. So half, you know, hey, there's a firearm and I grabbed it because I'm mad and I used it. I looked, I was briefed on Monday, our clearance rate is right around 79%, the national average is 62%. But I also know that every one of those incidents, every one of those clearance rates, every one of those homicide incidents is a person, right? It's a family. My gosh, we're just a week away from Thanksgiving, and I think, so if you ask me the question, how do I feel about, to me, it is the impact that it affects the immediate family of loved ones, those who have lost someone. My heart goes out to them in prayers, especially because it's close to the holidays, and then also for the families of the suspect. That in that moment, right, of anger or rage, or hey, I have to get even, somebody disrespected me, watch this. Now the police department is looking for me, there's a warrant on file, next thing I do is I find myself in front of a judge, and I'm spending X amount of years of my life gone from my own family. I think that's sad. What I appreciate is the cooperation from businesses and communities and witnesses. There's a reason we have a nearly 80% clearance rate in this city, and that is because people are coming forward. They're speaking out. They're providing information, and that's some of the information we have from last night. That case will be solved quickly. Some of the detectives went home, slept about 2 or 3 hours in the back because they're following good information. So I just appreciate the response. But that's my, when you talk about what any updates and how do I feel about it, I think it's impactful, and it's a shame. It's sad that some of the first, instead of just walking away, right? Walking away. Is there anything that somebody says or does that's worth taking someone's life? And how it impacts communities and family? To me, it is not. If you're not in a self-defense mode, just walk away from that. The impact is so lasting. So I think we continue to focus on, I will tell you, another benefit that we have that paid off for us last night and early into the morning is our technology. It's one of the topics that I wanted to talk to you about. I want to share the 4 things that I'm going to stand on as we move forward into this next year that this department's really going to focus on. And one of those is technology, and it played a big role for us last night. Robin, I signed up New England 1 mile challenge, stop soldier suicide. 100 miles, wow, that's amazing. I'm at Robin, that's impressive. Look, you got to keep me posted, all right? Keep sending us on the Facebook. Keep letting us know where you're at with where you're at on how far you've gone. That's pretty cool. You can track that. Miss Cox, good morning. Or wait, afternoon. I'm sorry, afternoon. Miss Cox, you'll be proud of me. I got online on time today. I was leaving like 2 minutes early. So thank you for being here. Thank you for helping us with our promotional process. That's another topic I want to touch base on. I want to hit some of these questions, but I'm going to talk to you all a little bit about promotions that we were able to make and upcoming ceremony. Of course, our graduation upcoming. I want to hit on both of those. Eric, love the bright. Scroll up just a little bit, Sarah. I got that new comment thing. Love the bright new street lights. Love the bright lights we have in our neighborhood. But boy, it sure does light up like a football stadium. Take away from the year's big Christmas display we do. For safety's sake, I appreciate the new light. Eric, I will tell you, I believe we started, the city and the police department talked about lighting and how it can make a great difference. We addressed about environmental design, right? That increased lighting decreases crime in areas. We tried that and we first started in some of the areas that we have some violent acts in, some gunfire in, some robberies in, and it's made a big difference. So I am in complete support of that. The city is moving that from one side across, and we're going to do the whole city. So it's really impressive to me about how effective it is and the speed. I mean, they're just doing an amazing job of getting those things done, and I am it's just huge. So yeah, I'm big on that. Anything that we can do aesthetically, environmentally to address not only blight but to reduce crime, I think is just a benefit for us. So yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
Jade, Chief, this is Amber Ivy from another phone.
Oop.
This is. Let me just catch up a minute. Chief, this is Amber Ivy from another phone. Melvin Ivy is important. The way The way your police department harassed me last night and the female at crime scene unit stood over my husband's dead body laughing and joking was disrespectful. I will tell you, so I'm not sure who I'm talking to, but I was there for an hour and I didn't see anybody laughing and joking. I saw individuals responding, moving very, very quickly, getting information. So I'm not sure what you're talking about. Maybe it was when I wasn't there, but when I was there, the officers did an amazing job. Detectives were actually on the scene before the patrol officers even got there. They got the crime scene roped off, and some information came in very, very quickly. I just met with the detectives. I had a briefing this morning, so that's not the same thing that I saw, and that's not the same response that I got from the detectives and from the stuff I saw this morning and what I saw there last night. I understand pain and suffering, and I also understand that people know more than they're saying. And we'll leave it at that. Let's go on to the next one.
That might be the one.
Okay, so let me catch up then on a couple things that I want to touch base on. One, our new recruit class graduates on November 24th at 10 o'clock at Temple Baptist Church on Harpersville Road. That is 17 members in our academy class that will graduate. They've already been notified of what precincts they're going to. We're looking forward to that. Again, that's November the 24th at 10 a.m. at Temple Baptist Church on Harpersville Road. 17 new recruits. We're excited to get them out. That's going to allow some movement into our Special Investigation Division as we move officers on to other divisions and bring new recruits in. So I'm really excited. I invite the public to come out. It's the day before Thanksgiving. We all have a lot to be thankful for, and I'm really looking forward to those young officers. They spent almost 8 months. We keep adding time on to the academy, things we do in the community, things we do with outreach, taking a week out and letting them ride with officers and see how the things that they're learning transition into stuff that they do on the street. So I'm really excited. On the tail ends of that, on December the 17th, at Gethsemane Baptist Church, also at 10 o'clock in the morning, we have our promotion ceremony. We promoted probably one of the biggest promotions we've had in years, maybe a decade in this organization. We promoted 3 captains, 1 new assistant chief. We've got 4 or 5, 3 lieutenants, and we're going to have about 4, 5, 6 sergeants by the time that we're finished. So it was a great group. I'm not going to let too much out of the bag. But I will tell you, that is a great individuals that are being promoted. I will tell you that our newest assistant chief, because we've lost some to other departments, Captain Bullhurst retired from the department and is now the chief of police in Albemarle, North Carolina. Chief Hudgens retired from our department, left here, and became the chief of police in Pineville, North Carolina. And then Chief Randall left us. Assistant Chief Randall left us, and he is now the chief of police in Pensacola, Florida. And they are just all doing a great job. I could not be happier for them. I'm so proud of them. And man, they've had a tremendous service here to this community, and now in their respective departments. It has been really great. Jada, yep, I talked to Detective Campbell last night and this morning. And like I said, I feel that the case will be solved very, very quickly. The time that they put in, and I thought the officers and detectives did a great job. I didn't see some of the things that you said you saw. Not saying you didn't see that, I'm just saying I didn't. And I was interacting with those officers for about an hour and a half last night. Thanksgiving's right around the corner, right? We have so much to be thankful for. I just want to remind my own department, sworn and civilian both, and our residents of our city. Think about those that aren't as fortunate, those that are in need, and maybe to help out. I got a call actually. I was able to help buy some turkeys for some Thanksgiving meals yesterday, and then I have a call. Individuals reached out to the department, said they were needing some help for the holiday season, and I look forward to talking to him, see if we can help him out. Sure we will in some capacity, and yeah, just look out for each other. We talked about our young adult police commissioners. Like I said. We'll get their swearing in ceremony. I'd like to do that before the end of the year, probably in December. That is a great group of kids, man. It's 24 kids that interact with this department, community, help us do things better. I feed off their energy. I love talking to them, interacting with them. You know, we certainly communicate differently, and they keep me up to date on all the social media things and what's the best platforms to use and how the best way to communicate with youth. But I'm excited to have them, the new class, on board. I look forward to seeing them get sworn in, but they've already started, and it's a great group. And we have some that, Lavender, Abdullah, and others that have been with us for several years, and then the new group this year. I'm just really excited. Right now, crime in our city, we're down about 2%. Last night we had our 25th homicide. That is where we ended last year. So we've got about 6 weeks left to go in the year, and we hit our 25th. Our clearance rates are very well, above the national average in every category. But don't get me wrong. I know that every one of those losses of life is a loss of life, or when we talk about homicides and those incidents, are individuals, they're people, they're families and communities. But I look at those also and track, are we having more shootings, or are shootings increasing, are we seeing more burglaries, are we decreasing, what are our strategies, and do we need to change those? That kind of will help when I talk about the 4 things that we're going to focus on next year moving forward. But I wanted to share, you know, where we're at as a city right now. We report every year to the FBI, just like every other department, right? And we do the statistics. Right now, the city of Newport News has a 2% decrease in crime compared to last year. So we have not seen the decrease that we've seen in years past, right? 9%, 5%, 14%. We haven't seen those decreases. This summer we really spiked. We have seen some decreases here recently, but we're recovering from some of the spike in crime that we saw over the summer this year. September and October last year we had 10 homicides in our city. September and October this year we only had 2. Last year in November we had 2. So far in November we had our first homicide in November last night. Regrettably, very tragic. There's a Newport. You know, the homicides in the city, the violent crime really bothers me, and because I know it impacts communities and families, right? But I also see the passion and commitment that these officers have that work through the night. They didn't go home. Were able to sleep a couple hours and right back at it. And some of them are dragging. They're tired, but the information as it comes through. There's a reason you see those TV shows like 48 Hours, right? Because that information is so quick coming in, and they've got some really good leads, and I feel very, very confident where they are. We have staffed our homicide division the way we have for a reason, because it is a priority for me to try to it doesn't bring anyone back. I wish I could turn the clock back, but what it does is allow for some bit of closure for the family. And we do the best working with our Commonwealth Attorney to put a good case together to present. So I appreciate those detectives and officers that responded last night, the way they handled the situation, the scene, and how quick they were there. That made a huge difference for me. When the information all is laid out, it made a huge difference. Robin, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Faith, just wanted to wish you and all the MPD and happy. Oh wow, Faith, thank you so much. That means a lot. I appreciate that. Roderick, thank God for the scroll there. I got that new comments in the way. Roderick, thank you, my friend. Ben, good afternoon, Chief. Hello from Tappahannock. Any updates on the business robberies in the Hilton area, Warwick, or the James area? Ben, first of all, thanks for being here. I appreciate that. We do have a couple. Man, I tell you, you're locked in. That's pretty good. We do have a couple series or patterns going on right now with some business robberies, some break-ins. Here in not only Newport News but surrounding jurisdictions, we're sharing a lot of information. What we find, sometimes we'll make those arrests and we'll be able to clear like 15 break-ins in regional. Same thing with auto thefts. A group that will go around and steal cars, we're able to tie them back. So right now we do have some surrounding jurisdictions that are having some of the same issues that we're working with. Out of 2 of those, I think there's some decent video footage that they're trying to put together. So we have not made an arrest in those yet, but I feel like we're getting closer. But it's important that we're able to share information, communicate well together, and we try to select or try to pick the next area that might be hit, and do some overt and covert covert things there. So I wish I had a better update for you. It's just, man, it's tough, especially when you're moving around. But I'll tell you, those detectives, they are driven hard. So my expectations are that we will make an arrest and then clear a lot. It's just trying to get ahead of it. We had the same thing happen last year with a string of break-ins at some of around that Jefferson Avenue and J. Clyde area. We were able to make arrests and they cleared up multiple break-ins here and then in the surrounding jurisdiction. So, but man, you're locked in. That's good. That was a great question. Robin, congratulations on the new officers graduating. Thank you for this, sir. Robin, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Hey, Chief, from Richmond, just want to let you know, if anyone wants to donate to the family of Officer Chandler from Big Stone Gap, they would do so through the Virginia Law Enforcement Foundation. I really appreciate that. I saw, I was reading some of that this morning and sent a condolence letter. But yeah, I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you. Robert, we need everyone to help reduce the crime. Robert, you're absolutely right. We cannot do it alone. There's 180,000, I think 186,000 citizens in Newport News now, and the department is authorized 470, and we're not staffed at 470 right now. So if you're not going to be everywhere, I'll tell you one of the things. I'll get a call about, Chief, we need more speeding enforcement, and an hour later I'll get a call about why are you doing speeding enforcement? There's other things going on and the environment we're in right now. So trying to balance. You're not going to make everyone happy, but I can tell you we're always going to focus on our violent crime first. That's our top priority. But let me say, I got a briefing yesterday from our traffic division, and this year, and last year we had 3 pedestrians killed. People walking across the street or being in the street or trying to run across the street. 3 pedestrians killed last year. This year we have 8 already. Out of those 8, 7 were the fault of the pedestrian. I'm not putting anyone down, but what I'm saying is when you're wearing dark clothing and you're walking in the middle of the street or alcohol-related, drug-related, or trying to run across 6 lanes of traffic and out of a crosswalk, putting yourself in danger. Right, you're putting yourself in danger. It was very concerning to me. And out of those 8, 7 the vehicles stopped and waited for the police to respond. You can see the individual running through the middle of the street, and it's just dangerous, right? The crosswalks are there for a reason. Some areas that aren't as well lit. But yeah, pedestrians being struck are concerning. But I did get a full briefing on that yesterday. Matter of fact, I have a report to send to the mayor. I talked to him over the weekend. We had a really good conversation, and I want to get him that information. So I appreciate that. But again, Thanksgiving, school being out, kids out, youth out. Please drive careful, slow down. Take your time. Just be aware of your surroundings. Oh wait, Pat says she can't hear.
I don't know. I can hear it on.
You can hear it on
Yeah,
the phone there?
so I'm not really sure.
Pat, maybe it's my voice or a glitch. I didn't touch anything. Are you hearing it okay on the? We're trying to monitor it on the phone here. Let me know if it gets any better. Bedford, kind of hard to hear. Do I need to talk more? Should I bring the microphone closer or turn? I don't want to touch anything.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I don't want to mess anything up. Maybe I'm talking too fast. Let's see if that turns volume up. Somebody give me a Patty or Bedford. Does that sound any better? I don't know if that makes a difference or not. Roderick, thank you, my friend. Yep, that's it. It is community. It is people working together to do things better, right? If you see something, to say something. I like to get a hold of things before they get out of hand or before we have to put crime scene tape up. Action needed. The current frame rate is too low. Please set the frame rate.
Yeah, that's the. No, we don't worry about that.
Okay, we're still okay.
Yeah. You're good.
A couple other things we talked about our crime data. Where the city is currently 2% down in crime. We have our Citizens Police Academy so we got a graduation of our Citizens Academy Thursday, and I'll be able to interact with them a little bit. What a great group, man! They are very, very interactive. I look forward to having them graduate and use them in different entities. Oh, okay. Oh, they're saying that's better. Okay, great. Maybe it was the volume. Well, I appreciate getting the update on Not Hard to Hear at 28 minutes after. No, I apologize, but I can tell you I didn't touch nothing. But we are taking new applications for a Citizens Academy. It'll start in February. I believe the start date is the 17th, or that's the day of the last day to get an application in. I'll tell you, if you're interested, the Citizens Academy is great. You'll have a lot of fun. You'll have a lot of interaction. I like to come down and tease them and interact with them, but individuals in there, whether they're employed, retired, the different jobs that they have, just to have that interaction and allow us to talk a little bit about what we do in this department and why, right? The why is important. It is a great. So if you're interested, please reach out to us. I think you'll really enjoy. I know you will enjoy it. It's a very interactive class. It's a lot of fun, and you get to interact with officers. And we enjoy interacting with community members as much as you will learn from us. We will learn so much from you, and it makes a difference. Yeah, Robin, you too. I'll be back at 6 o'clock this evening with the volume correct, right? But no, thank you for stopping by today. I appreciate that. So we've talked about our promotion ceremony. We've talked about a recruit graduation. Talked about the Citizens Academy that will graduate Thursday night. I'll have some remarks there. The new application process. We're taking applications now that for the new Citizens Police Academy. We've talked about our crime, where that stands at 2% reduction for the year. Thanksgiving holiday's right around the corner. And we talked about the great youth of this city. Our young adult police commissioners are playing a role. I want to share a little bit about the 4 things that I see us as we move forward. The 4 things that I want to focus on in the department. I shared them at our executive staff meeting at 10 o'clock in the morning yesterday. We talked about them at 1 o'clock for our staff meeting with all the captains, the different division heads in the department. I will mention them at graduation, and I want to talk about them today and again this evening, right? I think it's important in any agency, in any organization, what are the goals? What are we trying to do? Where are we headed, right? So the more people are on the same page and understand what we're trying to do, I think that makes for a more successful, quicker we reach that across that, move the bar, if you will, that everybody's on the same page, right? These are things we're focusing on. So, hot off the press, right? Number 1, they're not in any order. But number 1 is technology. To continue to focus on technology. Technology is going to be a huge element in last night's homicide and solving that case, bringing some closure to the family. But it also has helped us in so many ways. It's helping us with some of our interactions. Great being not only to be proactive, but our closures and solving cases. It's great evidence for juries and our Commonwealth attorneys to have. It just the future, right? Every officer in the Newport News Police Department is issued a cell phone. We have a real-time crime center that's up and running that's able to send information out and send information back. We are able to interact more with camera systems that are already out there and download things much quicker. But technology is key, and it is the future, and it moves like this, right? It moves so fast, so we stay updated. And I hope that this department's getting a reputation for being progressive. So things that we're bringing in and how we develop that is just important. And again, one of the things that was shown to me this morning when I got the briefing from last night was these 2 areas of technology and how beneficial it proved to be. Bedford, Chase City, Virginia. There you go. Okay, that'll work. So technology, number 1. Number 2, staffing. It is critical. It is very hard staffing sworn and civilian both. There's 3 areas in the department I want to focus on. I want the police department staffed to its capacity. That's 470 officers. We don't have individuals, and I talked to other chiefs in the region and out of the state. We don't have the same number of people applying before to come into law enforcement. And I think there's several reasons for that. But regardless, we have to continue to push our efforts to try to bring good people in. So my goal Our goal, this department's goal, is to fully staff the sworn officers in this department by the end of next year. Second, let's see, Dr. Lyons always does this to me. She'll ask a question, it's got like 22 parts. Part two, or B, if you will, is to fully staff our 911 communication center. We're close there. We're about 10 short. We're authorized 64. We're about 10 short. I don't want that communication center. I want those dispatchers. They work hard. I don't want, that job is stressful enough, and I don't want to add extra hours on because we're short in some of the shifts. So I want that communication center staff. I want our officers staffed. That kind of plays into one of the other areas that I want to focus on in our records division. Now, I feel we're moving good headway towards records. We're almost there with our dispatchers. We've got some work to do on the law enforcement side. That people decide that this job's not for them, or we didn't realize we'd have to work midnight hours, or we'd have to get times we get called back in. Look, this job is demanding. It's not easy. It is not Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, weekends off. It's not. Right? It's a day shift, the evening and midnight. We're 24 hours a day. We serve our community. We serve this great city. And that's why I'm so passionate about this profession and the men and women who do it and stick with it, for what they give up to serve others, to make their communities safe, right, to help other people. This job is extremely demanding, but it is amazingly rewarding, right? And it is not for everyone. I get it. But it is very, very rewarding. And you may not see it right away. It may be 3 or 4 years down the road when someone calls you and tells you, you changed my life. Thank you for helping me. Hey, I want to get back. I don't mean to call her out, but there's an officer in South Precinct, Officer Harper, who, when she was in the academy class, she talked about when she was a child, 5 or 6 years old, that she met an officer and had some interaction with him, and that's what she wanted to do. Well, we do a newsletter every week, and I look at that thing every week. And Officer Harper was one of the photographs in the newsletter, and she was with the youth. And I immediately thought, you know what? You told me in the academy that's what you want to do, and look at you now. And so I appreciate her. I was impressed, but I know she has a heart for youth, for young people. And I saw her in that newsletter, and I remember the conversation we had when she was sitting in the recruit class. So I appreciate that. That matters. So staffing of the department, sworn and civilian, in the 3 areas are records, our dispatchers, and of course our sworn officers, those 3. So we've talked about 2 so far: technology, staffing. Here's number 3, leadership. It matters. Accountability, ownership, right? Putting the right people in the right place and making sure that we got the right leadership. Individuals don't usually leave jobs for $2,000 or $3,000, but they leave for leadership, right? And they're always looking for it, right? Make a decision. We may not always get it right. I'm telling you, we don't. But make a decision. Leadership is a critical part of what we're doing today. And that's on the sworn and civilian side both. I talked to Dr. Lyons a lot about leadership and leadership development and bringing people into the organization. Leadership is vital to make sure that we've got strong supervision dealing with our new individuals that come into this organization, right? We protect them, not cover for them, right? But develop them and train them and get them into areas, address weaknesses, build on their strengths, get them into areas. Hey, I want to go into traffic. I want to be a property crimes detective. I want to be in homicide. I want to work in the narcotics side. I want to work in the white collar. Those type things, right? Developing officers and developing this organization and making sure that we're bringing the right people up underneath us. Those promotions that we do are in December. They're going to affect this department for the next 5 to 10 years. So it is important that we make the right decisions. And what we do in Newport News is we have civilians come in and help us make those. I'm just not making those promotions in a vacuum, right? When I've got NAACP representatives, when I got the president of the NAACP and Pastor Maxwell and Dr. Lyons and Karen Witherspoon of our HR division, Carrie Cox, an activist in our community, Dr. Reed Twiggs that helped us out, Angel Nelson, she was with the Boys and Girls Club, Rob Coleman with the Boys and Girls. Those matter, right? To get citizen input, that matters. And it helps us develop. Citizens ask different questions that I'm going to ask. And the promotions and leadership matter. How we address individuals, respond to critical incidents, look out for our officers, their mental health, And that leads us into number 4. The health and wellness of the men and women who work in this department. The things that they see and respond to every day. The officers last night who responded to that homicide, early in the day may have been on a missing person. They might have been on a domestic call. They go home and go to sleep. Those things in their head, they come back and do it again. They come back and do it again. For months, years, right? That stuff always affects us. So I need to make sure not only that we're physically fit, able to do this job, but also mentally. And it's incumbent upon leadership. If we see someone's behavior change or difference, that we sit down, have an interaction with them, have a conversation with them. I want to create a department that has an atmosphere that is not, you don't have to hold that stuff inside. That's unhealthy. 28 years that I've been doing, when I started, we didn't really talk a lot about a CISM team or a department psychologist or talking about how we felt. It was, hey, suck it up and go do the next thing, right? I'm not blasting that. I'm just saying how we evolve. So here's the 4 things we move forward focusing on. 1 is technology. 2 is staffing. 3 is leadership, the right people in the right place. And number 4 is the mental health of our officers, the men and women who work here. That's important. All that combined gives us a better agency and a better service to our community. Did I leave off with David?
Yep, he's.
David, sorry to keep you waiting, man, but I wanted to hit those things. Good afternoon, Chief. How are the efforts measured in working with the homeless community as well as families and struggling financially? I know recently 2 homeless individuals lost their lives, one through a car accident, another from a shooting. I'm curious about how you and the NNPD working with Peninsula Rescue Mission, Link, Port, and Thrive Peninsula to combat crime that can stem from these areas of our community. Wow. Who are struggling either by their own actions or from circumstances outside of control. P.S. Cheers to you, holding up my Mountain Dew. Well, David, that's a great segue. Let me take a drink since I've been talking way too much. But that is a great question, and one thing that you hit on is resources and partnerships. And that Mountain Dew you're holding up, I hope it's diet. That's the way I roll. Unleaded, right? You know, when you talk about, and I appreciate, David, that when you talked about how are we working with other entities, because for so often, I think some look at, what are you doing with homelessness? What's the police department doing? I don't spend a lot of time in the police academy teaching officers how to deal with homelessness. That's a human service function, or a social service function, right? But we know that we get called to those situations. So we have to partner with entities that know how to get help in those resources to someone who's homeless at 2:30 in the morning. How do we get them to a shelter? So our the churches and entities that help us and with finding shelter and warmth for individuals, our day reporting center, 4 Oaks, that we have those great relationships, trying to get people resources. What do they need? What elements are they exposed to? Whether it's and I'm not trying to insinuate in any way, but if it's physical health, if it's mental health, if it's shelter, food, training, how do we work together to address those situations? And it can't be, here's a global brush. I think it has to be individuals. This case management on this individual, because we touch so many of the same people. Port is a great partner, our human services. I was just with the director there, Ben Thomas, this morning, and I'll tell you one thing that we're looking at as we build a new North Precinct and make the plans is to have human services in the building with us, right, to coexist, so we can walk down and have conversations, right, instead of picking up a phone and sending an email, that I can walk around the corner, walk down a flight of stairs and talk to somebody. Hey, here's an individual. Some of the things we've done, David, here in our department, I just mentioned 3. We've hired civilian domestic violence coordinators to come in and help us work with domestic violence, to help us work with our partners with transitions, to do things to help individuals, male or female, children that are in domestic situations. We've brought civilians in here. We pay them out of a police budget to help us do better on domestic violence. We've hired 2 social workers and brought them into our department that work here out of our building, right? They don't work 9 to 5. They work from 6, 7 at night till 1, 2, 3 in the morning to help us, because some of the situations we roll up on, homelessness, individuals that might have drug addiction, suicidal, that it's after 5 o'clock, and I need to make sure we've got those entities here. Not we're picking up and making a phone call, but they're here, they're working, right? And can respond to a scene, that's important. The other is our CARES unit that we've developed. You know, Chief Hudgens, when he was here, Assistant Chief, now he's down in Pineville, North Carolina. Chief Johnson with the fire department, the CSB board, as we put together two groups, right, that work to respond to calls with mental illness. So officers will still respond, but we kind of take a second step. We'll stay in the parking lot or the driveway and let clinical clinicians and paramedics make the initial approach and address someone who might be in some type of mental crisis or suicidal or whatever it might be. It's trying to do things outside the box and not just having a uniform presence. Sometimes just showing up in this uniform triggers a reaction. So it's trying to do those things. I think as policing moves forward, a big part of it is going to be working with other entities and resources who have expertise in some of the areas that traditionally law enforcement's responded to. People go to school for 4 years to be psychologists, and a lot of times we've learned, and when we respond to it's how we talk to people, right? The people who are some mental challenges, how can we partner and do better? So I think that's important. So those are some of the ways, but it's to answer, I guess, you talk about rescue mission, link, and port. I think it's about sharing information. Who has resources? What is the best resource for Steve, right? This particular individual. And I just really appreciate those that volunteer their time and cooperate and work together. I think those entities and working along with law enforcement, I think that's what makes us better. And how do we evolve? And how do we continue to evolve? What's the next best thing? And how do we do that? But I don't think we can ever sit back and just rest. Oh yeah, we've done it. You know, we've got these three. No. You know, the state is trying to come up with a way to the Marcus alert, how to respond to mental illness. And I think they're going to look at really how we're doing it in Newport News. I think the state is. I know the state has talked to us about what we're doing. But yes, social service, human services are definitely a big part. I have a great relationship with Ben Thomas and her staff. Like I said, we met today, and we're even talking about building a north precinct where we coexist in the same building. I think that's important. I think so much is about systems and processes and relationships, right? How we work with different entities and come together for the same good. With the fire department, human and social services, link and port transitions. We just met with transitions last week, and both sides had some bumps in the road. We weren't sure, are we doing the right thing, and how's this work out, and what's your role, and when is our role, and when do we take over, when do we have a good handoff? And we came and sat down, and I was there for about an hour and a half, and I had to leave for another meeting, but I think it was a great meeting, and talk those things out, right? Not just sending a bunch of emails back, putting a room together, and hey, this is oh wait, I didn't know, oh no, that makes sense, well, we can do it this way, or this is the better way to do that, and that's how we move forward. So I appreciate the different entities and groups and resources that work with the police department, and I appreciate the men and women in the organization who work with those entities. I think that makes us better. So they need to connect with schools, but yeah, Robert, you know, I tell you, it's funny you mentioned schools, so I'm not going to talk about any other group, what they need to do, but I'll say this. There was a fraternity that's working together to address young men in the Hampton Roads area. And I got to talk to about 25 yesterday, myself, Chief Talbot, Game Morgan, one of my mentors. We got to, I was only there able to spend an hour, but we met at the Hampton Police Training Academy. There was about 24, 25 young men there, and we got to have some interaction. And I'll tell you, one of the things for me, there was one young man, he looked to be about 16, and someone asked the question, you know, have you had a bad interaction with police? And he raised his hand. And so when I began to address him and take questions, I walked over to him and I asked him, I said, do you know me? And he said, no. And I said, you know, I don't know you. I said, I am sure you've come into contact with individuals who look like me, who wear this uniform, who wear a uniform. And I've come into contact with other young men. He said, but my commitment to you is I'm not going to judge you based on what other individuals have done. And I just ask the same for you. Don't judge me on what one interaction you had where they take their individual and they shoot them for them. You know, and it just, you kind of like, a light bulb went off, right? It was just a great interaction, and I really enjoyed talking to that group. They seemed engaged. They asked some really good questions. One young man asked, how often do officers get to sleep? I'm like, wow, that's a great question. Because if you're a midnight officer, and you get off at 6 or 7 in the morning, and you wait around an hour and a half or 2 hours for court to start, you could be in for a long day. Go home and get sleep and then go right back. You know, and it comes back to our health and wellness. I need to make sure that our sergeants and lieutenants and captains, if that individual needs to go and get a little bit extra sleep, let him come in later or take the next night off if he's been in court all day. We've got to really do a deep dive into the individuals that work for us and make sure that they're okay. And everybody, that's why it's like a paramilitary group, right? There's a chain. I need to make sure that my two, well now with chief hires, my 3 assistant chiefs, that they're good, that they're locked in, that I'm not putting too much on them, that they're able to get away and have time with their families as well, right? It's important for us to be seen together. It's important for us to go to events, but instead of one of us trying to hit 4 events, if there's 4 of us, everybody take one, right? It's important that our health and wellness, and I think it starts with me and filters down, that we have a department psychologist that we use him. So that's why I meet with him on a regular basis. It's okay for me to open up. I hope others see that. I want to create that atmosphere, that environment, that it's okay to have those conversations. It makes us better mentally and physically. But I want the men and women who come to this department, sworn and civilian both, I want them to know they matter to me. Their families matter to me. So in the conversations we have when I sit across the table from someone, the last step before they join this department, we talk about that. And if you ever watch if you ever come to any of our graduations, if you ever come to any of our promotions, you'll see about 6, 7 to 10 seconds when I give them their badge, whether they're getting promoted or they're graduating, that I have a few words with them individually, where only they can hear what I'm saying to them. But they matter. Their health, their mental health, their families, they matter to me. I think that gives us a better quality officer to serve the citizens of this community better. That's amazing to have. I appreciate that, Robert. Thank you, my friend. So it's about 12:51. Sarah, have I missed anybody? I hope I haven't. It's not been my intent. Some way, somehow, usually there's a glitch somewhere. That's something I missed. So if I did, I apologize. Communication develops. Wow. Roderick, you might hear me use that line, my friend. That's pretty good. I like that. No, but I think all of it starts with how we talk to each other, knowing that we all have value, how we communicate, show respect. We may disagree, and that's all right. That's okay. Believe me, sometimes me and the assistant chiefs, we disagree on we need to go this direction or that direction. And I've got to be able to say that you know what? I made a mistake. I'm wrong. Let's rethink this, or let's slow down. Maybe we need to reevaluate. But it's important for me that this community knows that this department does not always get it right. We make mistakes. Believe me, I'm telling you, I make mistakes. There is no one. I don't know of anyone that's perfect in this life. And just because we put this badge and uniform on, it doesn't make that we're any better than anybody else. Now, we're held to a higher standard. Sometimes that may seem unfair, but we are held to a higher standard. This job is a lot of responsibility. It's also a lot of accountability. And it's okay when we get it wrong to say we're sorry. I believe that we have a good relationship with the community of Newport News, that we're trying to do the right thing. Are there people here that shouldn't be in this profession? Maybe. Have there been some that we've had to remove? Yes. We don't brag about that. We're just making the department better. Have we made mistakes? Absolutely. I hope that this community sees that we're going to be open and transparent, and we're going to apologize for that. We don't always get it right. We try to learn. We try to be better today than we were yesterday, and I promise you we're going to be better tomorrow than we are today. Things advance. We learn from our mistakes. That's life. So it's my hope that, and it's my appreciation of our cooperation with the citizens and how we work together and talk together. That citizens, if you see something or say something, you share that information with us. It's incumbent upon us to follow through and then get back with you. But do we miss a phone call over it? Yes. Do we forget to follow up on yes, it happens. We just continue to strive to do better. But we have to have a level of accountability. That's why we have a meeting every week at 10 o'clock on Monday. Every week at 1 o'clock on Monday. Every week at Thursday at 1 o'clock. Where we look at our crime, our data, our statistics, what's going on in our communities, what are the hot topics. That's why I'm meeting with our Kelly King and our media relations. When I'm sitting with Sarah and we talk about what are the hot topics in the community. What's the hot topics going on in the state or around the country about policing? What department might be doing something really new and innovative, right? How do we do better? That's why we're bringing outside instructors in, not just having officers teach officers. We're bringing experts, right? A mother who has a child who had autism might do a better job of getting her point across about when lights and sirens might affect someone with autism as opposed to an officer reading it from a screen. Those matter. That's why we've got domestic violence civilians and social work civilians and a medical response team. What's next? Right, as we look at advancing technology and how do we get ahead of things and situations, all those things matter and play a role. How do we partner with the newest resource out there? How do we utilize human services better? How do we work better with the schools and sharing information? How do we work with our doctors who are treating individuals with gunshot wounds, right? How do we do better on domestic situations? It's always about, we don't have to I can tell you I don't have all the answers, but we've got to create an environment that we're willing to be open and listen to other ideas. There's a reason I enjoy working with those young adult police commissioners. They're some bright kids. And I will tell you, I catchphrases and technology and the stuff they show me on their phone, I don't know where that comes from. We have some really good conversations, and I learned as much from them, probably more, than they'll ever learn from me. I love those kids, man. But to create that, I think it starts at the top, and we've got to make sure that we put that all people have value, regardless of their skin color or their zip code or their place of employment, their beliefs. They all have value, right? And together we can make things better. Man, I didn't mean to get on that soapbox. I apologize. Judy, hi Chief. Great afternoon to all. Thank you, Judy, for being here. I appreciate that. David, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. I'll tell you one of the other things before we get off here. A buddy of mine, Charlie, he was injured a while back, and I challenged him to a soccer game. We're trying to put that together, maybe like a 6-on-6. I don't know if we're going to do the whole field, but maybe a 6-on-6. I'm going to do that probably the first week of December. I think one of my assistants had some conversations with him and his father, so I'm looking to play a little soccer game. We had a kickball tournament a couple weeks ago. That was a huge success. We have some different entities around the region that played kickball with us. We tried to raise some money. We have fun. And there's certainly enough out there that we see across our TV screens, enough tragedy, enough crisis in our world, in our region that we celebrate and highlight good things as well, right? There are people that come to work every day away from their families that are trying to make a difference, trying to make things better. And to get, why are you doing traffic enforcement, and aren't there more important things to do? Hey, they're speeding in our neighborhood and we're not seeing the police enough. And it's trying to make everyone happy. But please know that despite when everything is said and done, this department is committed to serving this community and doing the best we can to keep it safe, to improve the quality of life. I appreciate Mayor Price and City Council. There's a great working relationship. They ask hard questions. As I notified them of the homicide last night, some of the questions they asked, the city manager, Ms. Roth, and the relationship that I have with her, I actually have a meeting with her tomorrow and just talk about how we're doing as a city and what we can do better and things that we're feeling some challenges. She's extremely supportive, but she's also extremely accountable. Great relationship with the Boys and Girls Club, the YMCA, partnership with them, my friend Hal and Rob, just great people, and it's like, hey Chief, when are we going to do this next basketball league? And he come tour the new Boys and Girls Club over at South Morris, and they did an amazing job upgrading that, man. The kids were outside playing, and after I got a tour of the building over there, I went outside and I just started throwing some footballs, and Mr. Coleman, Rob, came out and he's like, hey kid, you want to come in and see the new building? It hadn't even opened yet to the community. let the kids come in. So I'm excited to partner with them and things that we do together. Even as the weather gets colder, you know, I understand still the pandemic and COVID and being safe, but I really enjoy interacting. I was at, we had some training on racism with the city and at the Denby Community Center last week, and I snuck out, and there was this group of like toddlers, like next door, it was like 12 of them, right? So I just went over and hung out with them for a little bit, and the kids were running around and high-fiving, and of course they're telling me how, you know, they're raising dinosaurs at home and all this crazy stuff, but it just, you know, there's a lot of good in the city. There's a lot of good, and I don't want us to get so, oh man, everything's bad. It's not. It's not. There's some great things going on in Newport News. This is a great city, great community, and I'm honored to be the chief here and to work with such great people. And when I say that, I don't just mean our community partners and resources and citizens. I also mean the men and women who I see sacrifice daily, sworn and civilian both, to come here and come to work and try to make things better. Terry, Chief Drew, thank you and your department for your service. Terry, I appreciate that. Sarah, I did pretty good. We're almost at 1 o'clock. I appreciate everybody that chimed in today. I appreciate those that might watch this at a different time. I know with the holidays, right? Can you believe Thanksgiving's next week? What happened? Didn't we just hit the summer? But I wish everyone a very, very happy Thanksgiving. We'll do this again in December before Christmas. But man, I really I wish you and your families a great, safe, and peaceful Thanksgiving. We have so much to be thankful for. If you see individuals that are in need of help or any assistance, please do so. But just remember, we have so much to be thankful for. I appreciate you taking the time. We'll do this again at 6 o'clock this evening. Look forward to having another conversation. And again, I apologize if I missed any questions. It was not my intent. So please be safe, and we'll see you again. God bless. Love you guys. And we'll do this again at 6 tonight. Bye-bye.